Hello. This morning on Senior Pride, I'm going to discuss the upcoming Canadian election and um, focus on those 65 plus. But for those of us who are a little younger and kind of closing in, it's just as important because whatever happens to seniors' benefits around seniors issuing housing, etc., today will affect us in a few years, in a couple, 3, 4, 5 years. So that's the focus. It is important to note that seniors really have a large impact, a huge impact on policy decision making, etc., because they are a strong voting populace. Now, there are issues that are very central to seniors, and that includes the CPC, the Canada Pension Plan, uh, benefits like the OAS, the Old Age Security, the GIS, the Guaranteed Income Supplement for those who are living in poverty. All of these things are very important. Housing is important. There are a number of issues that are very important to seniors. And again, I state that this is a very important voting populace because, for example, in the 2021 federal election, 70% of voting able seniors age 65 and over voted versus only 46% of those aged 18 to 24. So older people do make a difference. Concerns, I described a few of them, but there are other things like healthcare, very big. And all of these things are impacted by whether we live in a rural or urban area, what province we live in, and these things impact how we vote, how we choose to vote. Also, we should note that by 2030, 1 in 4 Canadians will be 65 or older. So this is a huge population, a very important population. So what are some of the key issues for this 2025 election? Well, healthcare and long-term care are big on, and the fact is when COVID came along, we learned just how vulnerable our healthcare and our senior care systems were. Because of that, many older Canadians continue to grapple with challenges such as lengthy wait times for medical procedures, limited access to specialists, and overcrowded hospitals. Long-term care, which is a place that all too many seniors reside, have been found to have inadequate staffing, poor living conditions, and insufficient funding. So obviously seniors are going to look for a party that commits to improving the quality and accessibility of healthcare and that pays specific attention to geriatric care. There's also the issue of a national pharmacare program, and that is going to play into how seniors vote. Of course, there's the issue of retirement security and pensions. So as I said, the CPP, the OAS, and the GIS are crucial sources of income, and these are critical issues for this voting populace. There are questions about their long-term sustainability and their adequacy. With inflation driving up the basic cost of living, seniors are struggling to cover things like food, utilities, housing, healthcare. Seniors will examine proposals by the different parties that are aimed at retirement income supports and ensuring the financial viability of Canada's pension plan for years to come. Of course, as I have kind of hinted, there's the issue of housing, affordable housing. The housing crisis in Canada has made affordable and accessible housing a very big issue for seniors. So many retirees are facing maintenance costs, which are putting significant strain on those who wish to age in place. Those who require supportive housing or assisted living facilities often encounter long wait lists and high fees. The parties will be under pressure to propose solutions that address these challenges, such as increasing the availability of affordable housing for seniors and offering incentives for retrofitting homes to improve accessibility. Because of the issue of inflation and the incredibly high cost of living, this seniors are focused on their bills. They're focused on the basic issues like groceries, energy, everything that housing, everything that we need. And inflation has eroded our purchasing power for all of us, but notably for seniors. So they will be looking for parties that offer concrete strategies to combat inflation, such as tax relief measures or targeted subsidies for essential goods and services. Of course, there is the issue of social inclusion and ageism, and this is a big issue. Many older Canadians face isolation, particularly those living alone or in rural areas. Ageism is a persistent issue. It manifests in workplace discrimination, inadequate healthcare practices, and negative stereotypes about aging. And of course, it's not surprising that seniors will favor parties that prioritize community building initiatives and policies to combat ageism. So let's look at the main parties' platforms on senior-related issues. The Liberal Party. Now, as we know, Justin Trudeau has resigned, and we are currently waiting to see who's officially made the new Prime Minister, the new leader of the Liberals, and that person will take us into the election. So what has the Liberal Party done under Justin Trudeau? Well, they introduced measures such as an increase of 10% to OAS for seniors 75 and over. And notably, that leaves seniors 65 to 75 still struggling. They improved funding for long-term care facilities federally. However, that didn't always transfer to the provincial environments. They are expected to continue to focus on the National Pharmacare Program, but that remains to be seen. And they are increasing federal transfers to provinces for healthcare and expanding affordable housing initiatives. But again, we've seen some things work, some things not. Okay, what about the CPC, the Conservative Party? They are focused on fiscal responsibility and individual choice. Pierre Poilievre, their leader, has suggested that they may advocate for reforms to pension programs to ensure long-term sustainability while offering tax credits or incentives for retirement savings. So for people who are living well enough that they can actually put money away, that they can focus on the retirement, this is a good thing. For those who are living month to month who have very little, it really isn't very helpful. They are likely to focus on reducing healthcare wait times, but that's unfortunately through private sector involvement. And basically, their focus is on tax initiatives. So again, for the upper financially. What about the NDP, the New Democrat Party? Well, they're led by Jagmeet Singh, and he has been a vocal advocate for universal pharmacare and affordable housing. They are likely to prioritize expanded access to healthcare, increased funding for long-term care facilities, and measures to improve financial security for low-income seniors. They may also push for stricter regulations to protect seniors from elder abuse and neglect in institutional settings. And finally, we come to the Green Party. And their policies tend to focus on sustainability and community well-being, which actually does align with many senior-related issues. They are likely to advocate for investments in community-based healthcare, renewable energy programs that reduce utility costs. Of course, this assumes that you're living in a place where you can make use of these programs, and affordable housing designed with aging populations in mind. They may also emphasize the importance of combating social isolation through local initiatives. Now, based on there are potential election outcomes that we'll look at and their implications for seniors. So if a majority government wins, and that is very possible with Pierre Poilievre and the CPC, it could enable swift action on key issues, while a minority government might require compromise and collaboration among parties. Consider the risks of unfulfilled promises or insufficient attention to needs in the past, and hold politicians accountable. Now, I just want to note that with the CPC likely to win and quite possibly to win a majority government, this will benefit seniors whose income is high enough, whose previous incomes were high enough that they will benefit from tax reform and such. For the majority of seniors who are living month to month, this could be quite detrimental. So what can we do for seniors to engage in the election process? Well, we know that seniors play a vital role, and it's important that we attend local debates and voice our concerns. It's also important that advocacy groups for seniors amplify their voices, ensuring that candidates prioritize issues that matter to older Canadians. If we participate actively in the process, seniors can help build a future that reflects values and needs central to seniors. Now, we know that whichever government gets in, it will impact seniors' lives tremendously, especially in this era of increased costs and decreased affordability. So please think before you go out and just make a vote based on what you're hearing. Get out there, learn. Again, for those of us who are a little younger than 65, we're already in our 60s, maybe late 50s, what happens today will matter to us. So it is important that we consider seniors' issues. And with that, I say, if you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe and like. Please share with those who might be interested. And just remember, to be senior is to be proud. Hugs.